To me, the human lens of learning can be summed up in one word: success. We want to make sure that all of our students feel success, whether it's the smallest good job or whether it's a big success, like getting a good grade on a paper or a test.
Human lens is making sure that all students have that capacity to be successful in your classroom.
The human lens of learning is all about making students feel comfortable in your classroom, making them feel like they want to learn, identifying their background, where they come from, what they're dealing with in their life, and then using that to be a better teacher.
It's about them. It's about the student. It's about them having success. We look around our classroom and you see that student that doesn't interact. They're not part of anything. They pull themselves away. More often than not, it's because they haven't had success in a classroom. Now they're getting to choose. They're getting to pick what they're doing, and they're being able to work in a way that makes more sense for them. The lenses, all of them combined, really bring about the fact that education is purely about a student. It's no longer the sage on the stage. And the human lens really brings it through for the students to understand that it is about them. They create success. They learn to work together. They learn to collaborate. They bring it all back, and it has meaning for them, and then they want to learn.
To me, it's giving the students the opportunity to be successful in class. And it's not the I'm giving you a grade, it's the you're earning this based off of how well you perform. And it's giving you every chance to show to me that you actually know what you're talking about. And not only myself, but as your group progresses throughout the year, giving them a chance to see that you grow as a scientific individual or a person in that group, and giving them the opportunity to be successful and have an active role, whether it's being in our lab groups or you're doing some sort of writing in the class.
I think it's really important to give a lot of praise. With the students that we have, they might not get that on a daily basis. So if you say, you're doing a really great job, wow, it's really awesome that you came up with this idea, well, I'm really glad that you brought your notebook with you today. And then if you only find one thing that they're doing wrong as opposed to 15 on a normal day, then they'll feel more confident in themselves and feel like they actually want to be in your classroom and want to learn.
Some ways for teachers to help students feel successful every day and focusing on the human lens, I think, would be to offer small assignments daily where we just stamp them and they get credit for it, and we're not focusing on, well, you didn't capitalize that or you didn't get that one right. Letting them feel small successes through writings and through group work. Maybe they need someone else to help them achieve success, and that's okay.
You have to break it down so that they understand it. The writing is great, but if they are overwhelmed with it, you have to be able to break the information down or make it easier for them to chunk, and I guess the words differentiate sometimes. Scaffolding comes into play, and you have to make it not too easy, but it can't be out of their reach. They have to work a little bit, but they can't be jumping 3 rungs. They can only jump 1 rung. So if it's too hard, they'll just stop trying. They won't bother anymore. If it's too easy, they get bored and they find other things to do. So the challenge in trying to maintain that human element is it's got to be something worthwhile, and it's got to be something that's difficult but not overly difficult.
Anytime you have writing assignments, give choices. I used to be the type of teacher that gave one prompt, and student A would respond strictly to that one, student B would respond to that one, and so on and so forth. Now I give choices. I usually give 3 to 5 different choices based on whatever reading that we're talking about in class. And discussion actually is a lot better because student A gets to chime in on the one he did, and then student B gets to chime in on the one she did, and they can sometimes even connect the questions and the answers, so it allows for a more fluid discussion.
Give them choices. As you're going through and you're doing something, you know what the content is. How many different ways can you create, or the student create, to demonstrate that they understand the content? We want our students to learn certain things. We have a variety of different things that we go through with our students that this is what I want you to leave here with. Well, make it meaningful for them. Give it to them so that they can create and take ownership of it, and that's when it'll have that human connection.
I say to them that it's so much more than that. We want to teach kids to love to learn. Learning is not just something you do for 12 years in school. It's something that is a lifelong process. And if we don't focus on the things that make them want to be here and want to learn and see the importance of learning, then they're never going to become that lifelong learner, and society's not going to benefit from what we've spent 13, 12 years creating in the school environment. So we really want to take that, and it's not just making them feel good, but it's making them feel like they are important, that they have a voice, that what they do in your classroom has a meaning for their actual life, not just for the 40 minutes that you're in front of them.
Well, I would have said to myself 3 years ago, listen, tough guy. Not everyone's like you. Not everyone thinks like you. I kind of just addressed it. These are kids. They're still kids. They may not dress like kids. They may act like adults and interact and do things like adults, but they're still kids. They're still finding their way through the world, and it's sometimes tough, even though they look like they have it all figured out. They may even look like they have it more figured out than you do, but they probably don't. And it's just great to listen to them and hear them, hear them grow.
That's life. I mean, we all live in a world where if there wasn't feeling attached to it, would we do it? Would we work with it? Would we want to be part of it? I mean, we get great enjoyment out of seeing our students learn and succeed. How do you think they feel when they learn and they succeed and they can demonstrate it? I don't know too many kids that walk through the school saying, gee, how can I screw up today? They want to have success, and part of that is a feeling. It's extrinsic and intrinsic all at the same time. So you get to see that. You get to experience that.
I know that kind of goes into that concept of everybody gets a trophy. It's not the everybody gets a trophy deal. It's the chance that kids at least get to know that you actually read what they did. It gives them a chance. Maybe it's not that they wrote it correctly or they did it right, but they know that you actually took the time to care and you read it. Teachers, sometimes we don't do that.
Students should feel like they're in charge of their learning, and taking them into consideration as human beings doesn't do anything more than build their confidence and make them realize that they are real people and that they deserve to learn, and that you should be the best you can be as their educator.
Probably the most important of all the lenses when it comes to, because not everyone's going to be an English teacher, not everyone's going to be a writer, not everyone's a great reader, and so being that is what I teach, just seeing them as a human, as a person, as someone that's going to contribute, and guiding them through that and to that is a very important lens, and it can be done in every class, no matter what they're going to do after they graduate. That'll still stick with them.
Have fun with it, really. I mean, it's not, if you remain motionless, so does your kids. So do your kids. You need to be able to let them show who they are, and you can't be afraid to show them who you are.